welcome to Just to Health podcast, where we discuss science and tools to help you become the healthiest version of yourself. Hello, my friend, and welcome to another episode of Just to Health. I'm very excited that you're here. This episode is really exciting because in this episode I'm going to dive into a little bit of longevity science and how we can stop aging. Maybe not stop it, but rejuvenate our body and live longer, younger. In this episode, I want to start with a personal story. I think it was last week. I was out with some friends and we were then on our way home and waiting for the train. And two young guys came up to us. And I don't remember what they were asking us. I think like if we have a cigarette or something. And I just remember that I told them, stop smoking. That's really not good for your health. And I'm not sure. I think they said, yeah, we're going to die anyways, blah, blah, blah. And then I said, yeah, well, you know what? There's a lot of things you can do to actually increase your lifespan and increase your health and live a really long, healthy life. And I just started talking about one supplement that I'm so fascinated about and told them that they should try that out. The supplement that I was talking about was NMN. So today's episode we're gonna cover the supplement NMN and why it is the most promising tool in the science of aging. Okay, so what is NMN and why is it so important? Well, NMN is a direct precursor to NAD+. That means that our body is making NAD+ out of NMN. Okay, so now, Jasmine, why is an NAD+ so important? Well, NAD+ is basically what our cells need to make ATP. ATP is energy. So if you're eating something, doesn't matter what you're eating, your body needs to actually convert it into energy, right? So that you can do anything, literally run around. Not only this, but ATP and energy is required for every process in our body. So without ATP, you'll be dead in a few seconds, right? So it's really, really important. And the thing is that with age, our NAD+ levels decrease. That's why if you get older, you don't only feel like you have less energy, you basically do have less energy. So to put this more into numbers, NAD+ levels drop by 50% every 20 years, right? And this is causing all the side effects of aging, let's say. So it's causing fatigue, poor recovery, and it actually accelerates aging. So one, if you get older, you have less NAD+, and if you have less NAD+, this actually accelerates aging again. So this is why NMN is important, because your body is making NAD+ from this NMN, which we need for energy production. It actually also doing other things. NAD+ activates a mechanism which repairs DNA damage. You might think, okay, why do we need that? Well, every day your DNA gets damaged quite some time. So with damaged DNA. The problem is that this can actually lead to cancer. Usually our body is quite smart and it knows how to repair it. But with age, we have less ability to repair it, also due to less NAD+, right? So there's another thing why NAD+ is important. It is important to actually activate the repairing system of DNA damage, right? Another thing that it does is NMN stimulates autophagy. As if you stop eating for 3 days, a mechanism starts, which is called autophagy, and this mechanism basically is clearing out all the damaged cells. It leaves all the healthy cells, and it actually, by cleaning up, reduces aging. Another thing that NMN does is that it helps to counteract age-related muscle loss. You've maybe heard that with age, it actually already starts at age 30, your muscle actually decreases, right? So you will get more and more muscle loss each year, starting from the age of 30. In the beginning, it's not so accelerated, but as you age, it gets worse and worse. That's why it's also so important that older people actually do strength training, not really to gain muscles, but to counteract the loss of muscles. And NAD plus is actually helping. Also, what NMN is good for, it showed in long-term studies that it improves eye function even. So in aging mice, the eye function was improved by the supplement NMN. And it is likely the case by protection of the retinal cells. NMN also improves your blood cholesterol balance, and it is actually reducing age-related weight gain because it's improving your insulin sensitivity. So if you take NMN, you might even slow down the fat accumulation that is happening with age. So there are quite some studies about NAD plus and NMN as a supplement. A lot of studies are done in mice, but I want to now focus on human studies. So what they showed was that after 30 days of taking NMN supplements, the increase in NAD plus levels was 11% compared to 0% in the placebo group. And even after 60 days, NAD plus increased by almost 40%. So NMN effectively actually increased our body's NAD plus stores, and the effect actually gets stronger with time. So it is a supplement that you want to take in the long run. Okay, what is NMN actually saying about longevity? In human studies, it's actually ongoing, but in animal models, they've been shown that NMN actually extends lifespan by a little bit more than 8% in female mice, not in male mice, interestingly. And this is probably due to some things I talked to you before, because NAD plus is involved in the autophagy, so the cleaning up mechanism of the body, and it is also involved in stimulating longevity genes, so genes that promote youthfulness. Actually, what is really also interesting is that it can restore fertility. What do I mean by this? There is no human study that I know about that was done for fertility testing with NMN, but there are some case studies that women who take NMN and they're actually over menopause, so they don't have the period again, and after taking NMN for a couple of months, they actually started their cycle again. So it means that they got their period again. So this is just a case study, right? So I don't know if this is just random, but it's really interesting what effect NMN actually can have. So by imagining that a woman who was already in menopause actually got her period again because of NMN supplements for a couple of months, I think there's no other greater proof that this is actually rejuvenating our body, right? Again, it's just a case study. It was done a couple of times in mice and also in horses, actually, and they could restore fertility again with NMN, but there are no human studies yet. But it is so promising. It is really exciting what effect NMN can have. So in humans, early signs suggest that it improves aging, but human lifespan studies are still ongoing, right? So we don't know yet. Right, so what does NMN do for our heart? It protects the heart cells in mice from damage from heart attacks. It does it by a mechanism that activates survival genes that are boosting, again, the cleansing mechanism in our body. And in turn, with this cleansing mechanism, cell death is reduced. That's why it is protecting our heart from heart attack damage. Sorry, not our heart. For now, just proven for mice. So, NMN also improves our metabolism. What do I mean by this? It improves insulin sensitivity. Insulin sensitivity is really important to protect us from diabetes, because if we have diabetes, our insulin sensitivity is low and our body can't suck out the blood sugar from our bloodstream, and too much sugar in our arteries makes problem, right? So with NMN, we improve the insulin sensitivity. If the insulin sensitivity is improved, our body can suck out better the sugar that is in our arteries, and we have a better blood sugar level. What it also does is that NMN improves the blood pressure by supporting healthier and more flexible arteries. Right? So this is also a benefit in the area of the heart health. So you see that NMN is good for quite a lot of stuff. So for who is this NMN? Who might benefit from it? Well, as I told you, there's not so many human studies done yet, but I'm taking it, and I'm telling you why I'm taking it. Even though the benefits of NMN are not finally approved for humans, they are already approved for mice, and the human studies that we have until now are quite promising. And a lot of studies have shown that it is a safe supplement. So, what do they say about how much you should take? Well, a lot of scientists are taking 1 gram a day. I stick rather to the studies, and most of the studies were testing 250 milligram to 900 milligram per day, and these were all well tolerated. But long-term safety in humans is still being researched. And if you are interested in NMN supplements and you want to give it a try, I would recommend a dosage of 250 to 900 milligram per day. It is important that it is per day because it is nothing that your body really can store. You might want to start at 300 milligram per day or 250 or maybe even 500 milligram. As I told you, other scientists are taking 1 gram a day, but I actually stick to 500 milligram a day, just due to the research. And yeah, I think this is enough for me. I mean, I'm also a woman. I'm also a woman and not so tall, so you might want just to adjust for yourself. So, when do you take the supplement? I always take it right in the morning without eating anything. It's also absorbed with food and a little bit later in the day. Just maybe avoid taking it late in the day or in the evening because you have this energy boosting effect, right? So you want to have it early in the day. As I told you, it's a long-term supplement, so you might want to take it for a year or at least 3 months to really see if you feel a change. And yeah, just make sure that you choose the right supplement. Look for a supplement that is pure and has high quality NMN. So you can look for third-party testing. That would be a good sign. And you should store it in a cool and dark place, so you ensure the stability of the NMN. And if you wonder how much 250 milligram is, it would be 1/10 of a teaspoon, and 500 milligram, this is the dosage that I'm taking every day, is 1/5 of a teaspoon per day. Right, so let me know how it worked, and if you have any questions, you can always drop them down in the comments or just reach out to me on Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube. Just slide in my DMs. It's everywhere the same name, Just to Health. And yeah, until next time, my friend. Bye bye for now.